Hi, my name is Zowie, and this is how I play Quake Live. I rocket jump continually, which requires a lot of flicks, but I also need precision while aiming, so I need a mouse with a great sensor and one that I can feel comfortable moving around a lot. But there are some key things to remember when looking at mice. There's no such thing as perfect, and we all want different things. The idea is to find the one that's most suitable to you. For the last 18 years, I've been using mice that are mostly for palm grip, and I prefer buttons only on the left side. That's why when I saw the Zowie FK2, I said, probably not for me, but here it is. A mouse seemingly made for fingertip grip, and buttons on both sides. And I like it. This is why we can never be sure about mice until we try them. Of course, we can't try everything, so in this review, I'll do my best to explain it and hopefully give you an idea of if it's right for you. So it's an ambidextrous mouse with a 3310 sensor, buttons on both sides, and it weighs about 84 grams. Those are the four most important factors to a mouse: shape, buttons, sensor, and weight. But the order of those depends on the games you play. For the shape, it's important to know your hand size and your grip style. My hand is about 18 cm base to tip, and about 9 cm across from thumb to knuckle of little finger. This is a small mouse with a moderate slope on the buttons, and a low hump in the middle, and there are some slight comfort grooves on the buttons. That's what makes it suited to fingertip grip, but it could also be used in claw and potentially palm for small hands. Between the thumb and fingers, it's about 5.4 cm wide. That's the grip width, and from the edges of the mouse feet, meaning the parts that are touching the pad, it's 11.2 cm. That's a bit off the 2:1 ratio that I usually prefer when aiming, but it still seems good. The back is 6.3 cm, which doesn't feel like much to hold, especially as it's only about 3.5 cm high. And the front is 5.7 cm. I don't have the FK1 or the FK1 Plus, so I can't comment on those. But they are bigger, so if you need a bigger mouse, then definitely check those out. A safe shape is one that allows for multiple grip styles, one that doesn't dictate exactly where you put your fingers or how you rest your hand. This is fairly safe as the sides are quite flat, with just enough ledge to help when picking it up, but because it has buttons on both sides, they could get in the way. It's hard to predict just what hand sizes could suit this mouse. I think from 14 to 17 cm can probably palm it, but again, not sure because of the side buttons. And for claw and fingertip grip, I would say probably 16 to 19 cm. You can probably push it a little more either way, it really depends on you. As said, it's about 84 grams, and it feels quite well balanced. Moving on to the buttons, here is a listen to the clicks. Because of the shell, the buttons feel tight unless clicked right at the top. They're still not light clicks, but they should be good for jitter clicking, and of course, first-person shooters. Maybe not the best for MOBA, depends on personal preference. Mouse 3 has about the same resistance, which isn't very tight for a mouse wheel, and there is a lot of tactile feedback on the scroll, so it's not so great for browsing, but it should be good for in-game. The side buttons have very little travel, feel crisp, and should be good for most people. Now let's check the implementation of the 3310 sensor, which is found in the rest of the Zowie BenQ range. There's a lot of testing out there by machines and software. I'm going to give you the human tests, so you know how it performs in game for human hands. Starting off with some rocket jumping, this is just to make sure it can handle my style, and of course it can. Moving the mouse across the pad as fast as I can't make it spin out. In the sniper test, I zoom right in to FOV1, and start with pixel by pixel movements at 1600 dpi. Speeding up a little, we see that it's tracking well. I also tested this at the other DPI ranges and didn't find a problem on multiple pads. There is no easy way to test the delay between movement of the mouse and on screen, but going by feel, this seems quite responsive. Testing for acceleration and deceleration, I'm going to move the mouse across the pad very quickly, and then track back slowly. And it's returned to the position, meaning I can't see any. The lift-off distance is tested with DVDs, which are about 1.4mm thick. First trying on top of one, we see barely any movement, so it's under 1 DVD by default. There is no software, but you can alter the lift-off distance by holding in mouse 4, along with the left mouse button, or right mouse button, or both when plugging it in. It seems to be different on each pad, so if you're not happy with default, you can test it. Also, you can only have one set of side buttons active, left or right, which you can change in a similar way, along with the polling rate. Check the manual for instructions. There is a DPI button on the base, and you can cycle through the 4 modes. 400 is red, 800 is pink, 1600 blue, and 3200 green. In the line test compared with the Zowie ZA12, we see no jitter, angle snapping or skipping. The liftoff movement is well controlled, and there is no sensor rattle. This is a typical great performance from Zowie's implementation of the 3310 sensor. Another important part is the build quality. I use too many mice to comment on durability, but I can give an indication of how well it's made. When tapping it, it seems solid, but when shaking it, there is a fairly loud rattle on mine, and I don't know what it is. The materials feel like high quality plastic, and the texture is smooth. The safe shape should allow for good grip, but I'm not sure how well they'll perform with sweat. Zowie cables are the best, being smooth, flexible rubber and 2 meters long. There are 2 large mouse feet that glide smoothly over the pad, and they include a replacement set in the box. So they're the important factors of the mouse, but now for a personal opinion. Can I aim with it? Here are some highlights while I explain. If you're familiar with this channel, you know that my favourite mouse in first person shooters is the Zowie EC2A. It's been number 1 ever since I bought it. During my testing, I noticed my aim with the FK2 was really on. So I got the EC2A out and tried them side by side. I struggled to tell the difference. I mean, the mice feel completely different, but after adjusting to each, I was hitting the same kinds of shots. Switching to completely different mice, the aim was still good, but it wasn't as consistent, and it lacked a certain wow factor. And that's why I'm here debating which is the best, the EC2A or the FK2. For recommendations, the EC2A is safer, because it doesn't have the side buttons on the right, but the FK2 can suit left-handers as well. But for my personal top 20 list, which gets number 1? And I think the answer is the FK2, because it's smaller and lighter, more suited to my hand. If they bring out a Zowie EC3A, the EC series might go back on top, but for now, the FK2 is my new mouse of choice, and it takes the number 1 spot. Special thanks to Zowie for sending this out for review. I probably wouldn't have tried it otherwise. Hope this review has helped. If you want to support the channel, you can buy this mouse using the Amazon links for overseas, or M-Wave links for Australia. Subscribe for more reviews and gaming videos, check Twitter and Facebook for small updates, and if you want mouse recommendations, please visit my website and use the search. So thanks for watching, like and share this video, and I'll catch you in the next.
Impressive. 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 Red wins the round. Accuracy. Impressive.